special edition
Okay.
versions of the light novels.
Oh. Okay.
So, you know,
Might be a collector's item one day.
might be.
Might be.
Just might be.
You never know.
He just got me another special edition that was also $300
Oh my
for
god.
my birthday.
Oh my god. Well, I'm sure you enjoy it. So
I do.
that's all.
You have thousands of dollars worth of cars and bikes, and I have thousands of dollars worth of books.
Yep. Knowledge is, what does they say? Knowledge is wealth.
Ma'am, it is all smut.
A certain type of wealth, okay? Certain type of knowledge, certain type of wealth, all right?
I have like a few questions for you. Of course, we're gonna get into the whole Free Morgan
Oh god.
sweatshirt,
Okay.
you know, speeding debacle.
Mm-hmm.
But this is also gonna be like a Valentine's Day episode.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh my gosh, this is a special treat for me.
So I did have like a few like questions, Little Miss, single now,
Yeah.
you know, out here for the world.
Sadly single. Oh, wrong hand. Sadly single.
The whole time my ring is upstairs. I want to feel included without actually being included.
I appreciate it. It's mentally here.
And mentally.
Yeah.
So everybody like around this time it was always like, because I mean, everyone wants to be booed up for winter.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants to be booed up for Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm. Cuffing season.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then like summertime they want to be single.
Yeah. Pretty much.
What are like your biggest icks for like a guy?
Ooh. Where do we start? Okay, because the list, I'll get my notes out.
let me pull up the list.
Biggest icks for a guy, I think showing off, like when it's very obvious that they're showing off in front of some people. Like, okay, I hate to do this. I need to do this. There's a guy, male friend of mine, who I've known for some time now, and he recently became a promoter for clubs.
Okay.
And it's like very cringe. Like it's like very cringe to watch his promo videos on IG and him being at the club at 3 a.m. And I'm like, how do you remember your age? Like, not even trying to be rude. Like, I mean, clubbing, you can do clubbing whenever. Right? People are able to do whatever they want in life. But like where I'm at mentally, I just could not see myself at a club every weekend and then also promoting it to make money. Like I'm like
yeah, no, that's like, it's one thing because like I've gone out to clubs and there's been like moms, like,
yeah, oh yeah,
and they're all having the time of their life, and I'm in full support of it.
Yeah,
because it's like, listen, most of the time they only get like one weekend.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, if you want to do like a club day like once every couple of months, like that's cool. Like I think that's totally fine, no matter what age you are. But at a certain age, it's like every weekend you just want to show off the fact that you're like out here, you're getting bottles all the time.
Like,
and
even when I was like 21, I didn't want to, like, don't get me wrong, I was going out every weekend with friends and everything, but I wasn't always at a bar. I wasn't always at a house party. Like, there were some weekends where I was like, I'm in the house, I'm studying. Like, it was not in every weekend I'm gonna be out there.
Yeah.
And to be like at our big age,
yeah,
going out every single weekend,
yeah, it's like where you could be better spending your money, and then you can also be like pouring more into yourself. I think I'm also feel like I'm just in like this weird stage though, where because I'm pouring into myself so much, I expect my man to. So I do also like understand that my icks might be a little bit extra right now because I'm in a different phase of life, whereas my icks last year might not have been the same.
Yes, yeah, but at least your icks have grown.
They're evolving.
They're evolving.
Yes.
Okay, so overdoing it, showing out, peacocking.
Yeah, definitely. Like you can tell, like when they're in a group of friends and you're talking to them, then like one of them has to like boast about something in front of everybody, and you're kind of like, are you trying to be the alpha? Because I can tell that he's actually the alpha. You know, like it's very cringe.
The funniest thing is watching a group of guys like hang out because they're always like trying to like puff out their chest, and I'm like, the one being silent in the very back.
That's the one I want.
That's the same. I want that one.
That's the one I want. Yeah, definitely that. I would say like social media is a huge ick when like you can see them favoriting a lot of things, and especially now when you like scroll through reels, you can see that like blank so and so like favorited this. Like I love that feature because I'm literally like, you're disgusting.
I literally caught my cousin's husband in 4K.
Oh my god!
It was a yoga video and he liked it. He completely forgot that he liked it, and then he was like, "Ooh," his wife messaged me. She's like, "You're a real one for this," and I was like, Because like it's not even
Yeah.
like, oh, like you're hearting something, whatever. But it was just one of those things where she's a redhead, the girl was a redhead, she was being very, it was a very like seductive like
Yeah.
yoga video type
Oh
of thing.
yeah.
And so it was just funny. We all laughed about it because like she's not like, how dare you?
That's good.
It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
it was just one of those things where I was just like, you know, others can see
Yeah,
this,
like,
right?
don't, please don't forget where you're at.
I
You
was
are
like,
in public
please,
right now.
please remember that
Oh
I
yeah.
can see it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think like nowadays too, being on like my car page is a lot of, I don't know if it's like a weird, not weird, but like a car thing, but there's a lot of car guys that are into Trump. And there's a lot of like
That's a
Trumpy
car thing.
videos, yeah,
That's
that
just a
pop
car thing,
up.
yeah.
And like you'll be attractive, and then I'll see you favorite like all these Trump videos, or like every biker girl that you see, you're favoriting her stuff where her tits are out, you know, stuff like that. And I'm just like, do I want a man who feels the need to publicly show that they're interested in this? Because obviously I'll see biker boys on Instagram reels and I'm like, wow, like that's very attractive.
Yes.
But do I feel the need to favorite it? Like, no, I'm like, you're
No.
attractive. I can keep that to myself.
Maybe
Like,
sometimes I'll like it, but I'm not like saving the
yeah,
video.
like
I'm
on the
not
occasion,
like,
or like commenting. Oh my God, when you see somebody else's comment, you're like, oh,
I'll like swipe up. So like I'm a big comment reader. I'm gonna read
Same.
the comments
Every time. And like the people you follow, they're gonna pop up at
the very
so,
top. There have
yeah.
been like some influencers where like I'll be on their page and I don't even realize that like what is the one? It's like surviving like with the blacks or so. It's a couple page.
Okay.
I think it's called like surviving with the blacks or like something with the blacks because their last name is Black.
Okay.
So it's like something like that. They're literally hilarious and like so funny. I didn't even realize there was like one thing that like a reel popped up and it like popped up that like Ariel had liked it and I was like, oh wow. It like didn't even cross my mind that like this might also be on her page.
Yeah.
So it's like just like if you're following them, they're probably gonna pop up on other people's
page just because they follow you.
Yeah,
every time. Yeah. So that's very cringe for me, I would definitely say. And I guess an ick. I'm trying to think what else is an ick. I'm really into teeth. I don't like guys who like don't take care of their teeth, or I know it's like so like
I'm not even laughing at that. I'm laughing at when we picked you up and the first thing that you said was they were all missing teeth.
Yeah. Because all I could stare at. It was like every time, like there would be times where girls would like look at me and be like, oh, can you tell me if my teeth is like so and so? They would pull out their like mouth, like show me their mouth. And I'm just like, oh my fucking God, I don't want to look at this right now. But yes, your tooth is falling out. Like, you know, like shit. Like
oh my God. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm such a teeth person. Yeah, literally. It was bad. That was a not so fun time for me. But yeah, I'm definitely, teeth will give me the ick immediately. I'm trying to think of what else really gives me like the ick naturally, like purely.
I mean, so I guess another big question is like, would you date like one of your followers? Because like at the point that you are with like TikTok, your car page, Instagram, little Miss 100K.
Yeah, thank you, girl.
1 million on TikTok and everything. She just hit 35K on her car page, y'all.
Thank you.
She is.
That's where I just posted that like 5 minutes ago.
No, you did. I saw it. I was like, oh. Like, how do you feel about like something like that?
Yeah, I think I would be open to it if like, I don't know, there has to be like a lot of like caveats to it. Like you need to have been following me for a minute, like you're not like brand new and then now you're trying to like kind of talk to me. You have to have interacted with my posts in the past, like just naturally. And I think it's about like the respect level and also like what he has going for himself. Like if he does not have a lot going on, then it's going to give me the vibe that you're trying to mooch off of me, which is the vibe that I get from a lot of men that I talk to. Not even just from social media presence, but it's one of those like, you know, like that cringe moment when you kind of tell somebody what you do for work and they're like, oh, okay, big money. Or like they say
yes.
Immediately I'm like, get the absolutely not. Like I'm like, you're gonna get blocked. Like I'm not talking to you. Like it's just such an ugly moment.
Very quickly to keep under how much you make.
Yeah, like boss babe, whatever. But as soon as I'm like, yeah, restaurant, social media, they're like, okay, big money, like okay, boss babe. And I'm just like, oh God. Like here we go. Yeah. So like depending on like what he has going on for himself too, I think that would also determine my level of organicness, like how organic is this?
Mhm.
I also think it does make a difference that I've been open about me breaking up with my ex, like on social media, and like guys didn't come. Well, there were, but like guys that I'm interested in didn't come like rushing to like my DMs, like, hey, like now do you need somebody? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, the cringe, like, let me swoop in real quick and
yeah,
try to, yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I guess I would say yeah. The quick answer is yes, I would date one of my followers. The long answer is there would have to be a lot of checkoffs for me to do so. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Because, like, you do have a nice page.
Thank you.
You've worked very hard for it. And I would hate to see somebody come in and just try to, like,
Yeah.
grab onto that
Yeah.
to build themselves up. It just, because I
Absolutely.
have seen that happen on like TikTok with like different couples and
Mhm.
everything. Like they
Even
started
like
all
JoJo Siwa, she was dating that one
one
chick, and
chick
even though she
and
was big already herself, like she blew
blew up,
up because she was
and then
dating.
she immediately dumped her.
Immediately dumped her. Shout out to her. Like that.
I mean, yes and no. Like, I listen, sis, and get your money.
Yeah, she did what she needed to do. Do
Yeah,
I agree with it? No.
no, but also it's JoJo Siwa who was one of the most controversial.
It's kind of like, what did you think you were getting yourself into?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, definitely one of those intriguing moments, I will say.
she's just such a.
Yeah. You know what's funny though? I told myself when I date moving forward, like I would have to date somebody who's already in the creative space. So like I
Mhm.
would love to date another content creator because I feel like one, it would make our lifestyles very easy. Like two, like yes, we can help each other build and whatnot. Like, okay, so there's this couple who I'm in like this travel creator group chat,
Mhm.
and this guy made it. I'll just say their names because I like whatever.
Yeah.
So this guy made it, his name's Harmony. And in the group chat, there was another girl in there. I want to say her name's Taja, but I could be making that up. And it's just beautiful, like black people, just like kind of separate, whatever. Next couple of months go by, and you find out that they ended up dating each other.
Oh.
And so she's, I think, really big on YouTube. And then I want to say he's big on YouTube as well. I don't know what platforms they're big on, but long story short, she makes amazing vlogs. Now they make amazing vlogs together. And it's just such a beautiful like couple to watch. Like not only because I don't know her personally, I don't really know Harmony that well either, but like we've exchanged like conversations here and there. He's like not a gatekeeper, which I love in the community.
Oh my God, no, that literally is amazing because I mean, the TikTok space, the Twitch space, YouTube for sure, like everything, like if you try to find out like anything outside of just like the Google like quick search of like, oh, like here's this Amazon package for like a Twitch starter, like you got to figure it out yourself essentially,
because people don't want to see other people win, and I think they feel like everything's too saturated to the point where if you share information, like it's going to stop you from getting your bag, and that's not the case. Like you need to be confident enough in yourself to know that your work is always going to be on top no matter what. Like it doesn't matter who comes in and swoops in and says the same thing or uses the same equipment or maybe wears the same outfits and stuff like that. Like I had a girl today asked me for my window tint, and in the forefront, I immediately was like, oh, it's luminous tints. It's da-da-da, here you go. But in the back of my head, I'm also like, I am the only person in the DMV that has this window tint, and I would like to keep it that way. But I'm not going to be a gatekeeper at the end of the day because also I know, shit, I know my car popping and shit. Like, ain't nobody going to do it the way I do it type of thing. So it also has to do with the confidence in yourself to not gatekeep. Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's be honest, you know what you are capable of, you know what your worth is, you know what your content is.
Yeah.
And sure, somebody else. I mean, it's just like I showed you the one day, somebody like with almost the exact same car as you when you still had your rainbow, like a luminescent wrap, had the same wrap. And I was like, and somebody else posted Morgan's car. Like it was just such an iconic thing for your car.
Yeah.
But even with your car changing colors, wraps and everything, it's still a very iconic car.
Yeah. It's not the same. It's not what it used to be. I miss the other color. But at the same time, like you said, he had it, and then I think a Tesla got it after him. That was a whole weird situation too. I knew the guy who got the wrap done, which I thought was kind of weird. Yeah, he like literally hit me up about the wrap, asking if it was good or not. Woody whoop. Then he got the wrap, sent me a picture of it, and was like, "Oh, I got it." And I kind of like, I didn't call him out like in a disrespectful way, but I definitely was off some like, I kind of feel weird that you asked me about it and then now you have it. Like I was like, did you do that on purpose or what? Because like I enjoy being unique. Like I like being a one of a kind, and that's why I got this car wrap. Now you have it. Da da da. He was like, oh, I already knew about the wrap before you had it. I just didn't know if it was gonna look good, so that's why I wanted your opinion, girl. weird shit. And so I just was like, okay. I said, well, you know, good luck. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy the rap. And then he got it done, and then that was it. I stopped talking to him after that. Like he kept like messaging me like randomly, like, oh, happy birthday, sis. You know, happy holidays, sis. Like, you know, kind of like weird shit where I'm like, I don't really know you like that. I thought we were cool car like friends. That's about it. But now you've given me weird vibes. Like,
Yeah, you're
now
like,
that this car thing happened, you've given me weird vibes. I don't trust you. I think you're a weirdo. Stop talking to me. And so I think he got the hint because he stopped texting me because I wouldn't respond at that point.
there are some people that I wish would get that hint with me.
They never will.
No.
You might just have to like straight call them out for it, or just call, or just understand that you're gonna have to deal with it. One of those kind of things.
Apparently, like, I don't know. Apparently, I'm either very like, no, it's fine, or I'm very like harsh with my words whenever I want to stop talking to someone.
Okay.
So I'm like trying to find that nice in between balance
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm just like,
well, I hope you can find it. I hope so, because some people need to be told. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's something I've been working with in therapy.
Okay.
We're gonna see how it turns.
Okay. Yeah. It takes time. Rome not built in a day, as they say.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Are there any other like big icks that you have? I know, like for me, like my biggest one is like lying.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Lying is definitely a huge ick because you don't have to do. I just
Like
think that
why are we?
you don't have to lie. Like I think I understand the idea of like getting. So my idea is the men that lie a lot is because they have this thing where they hate to be scared. Like they hate they. No, okay, hold on, I said that wrong. Men who lie a lot are scared of getting in trouble. So I don't know if it's like a childhood thing where like maybe they used to get in trouble a lot by their dad or their mom, or like they used to get beat or something like that. But I noticed a lot of the guys that I talk to that love to lie or just do it compulsively, they have an issue of feeling really scared that they're going to get in trouble for something. So that's why they lie, because they don't want to get in trouble with you, whatever, blah, blah. I remember I talked to my ex actually when I was in jail. My ex from like 6-7 years ago, he like randomly popped back up and was like, call me, whatever. So I called him in jail, and one of the things he mentioned to me was like, I used to terrify him, so he used to lie to me because I used to literally scare him about if he told me the truth. And I've always been a person where I'm like, you can tell me the truth, and my reaction to it, I'll be as calm as possible.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, at least you told me the truth, so I'll respect you a little bit more. And like, you might even be able to get away with some stuff because you told me the truth. Whereas if you lie about it, like all cards are off the table.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've noticed that it's a pattern that they're very scared to get in trouble. And for some reason they think that all women are gonna get them in trouble if they lie to them. You know, kind of like weird, but I don't get it.
Men hater.
Definitely huge ick. If you've cheated on the past, major ick. I would never trust you. Because like why? Why did you feel the need to cheat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I mean, I get like there's certain sort like if you cheated back kind of thing, it's like, all right, let me hear the full story. But at the same time, I'm also like, why didn't she just leave? It's okay. I cheated back too.
I'm like, ooh.
I am a little bit of a hypocrite because I indeed have cheated back. But I also was like 17, bro. Like,
I was about to
10
say.
years. Like,
I was going to say, it's been years. I think I was like 16 or something.
Yeah. Like obviously, if he's like 30 years old and he cheated when he was 18, I'm going to be like, all right, bro, like, respect, I got you kind of thing. Ooh, if they've never had a girlfriend before, never date.
Yes. Oh my god, no. I watched one of my friends, her and her ex were like, she was his first like serious relationship, and I just watched like the toxicity and just the childishness and the like having to teach somebody how to be a partner
is hard. It's very, very difficult.
Because like my whole thing is like, there are certain people who have never been in relationships and can get into a relationship and know how to treat a person immediately.
Yeah.
But if I'm in, like, so like I will say, I haven't necessarily never denied anybody, like, because I would be their first relationship, but I do look at it differently.
Yeah.
As to like, okay, I'm not gonna like say let's date just yet because I want to see how you just are as a friend.
Yeah, exactly.
First. And like if you understand basic like respect for another person.
Absolutely.
Because if you can't even understand basic respect, you're not going to know how to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like at all.
I mean, imagine moving in with them as well. For like it's their first time moving in with like a female or like a woman, you know, like that's
I've done that before.
Same. It's been terrible.
With my ex, it was horrible.
Yeah, they just don't understand the concept of like sharing space.
No.
Yeah, especially if they're an only child too. Oh my gosh, there's
And
like
so-
so many levels to it.
No, literally there is. So I will give my ex, he was the oldest of 5.
Okay.
So he at least understood that aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
But like cleanliness, like respecting, like walking, and I think this is what it speaks to is the way that we were both raised.
Mm-hmm.
Me being like we both of our parents, like growing up, you couldn't like run away from an argument.
Okay.
Like if you tried to walk away, it was like a whole follow screaming match type of thing.
Okay.
And so I think that having 2 people who don't understand that that's not healthy,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not how you deal with problems.
Mm-hmm.
So neither one of us grew up in a household where you were able to like walk away from the argument.
Okay.
And so I think that if you don't have someone who's been through that,
Yeah.
who knows, like, hey, it's healthy, you walk away.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be healthy because, like, when we were long distance, I can't even say we're healthy. Then man cheated on me.
Oh god. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So, and then, hold on, to point on the whole he cheated on me thing, he was living either in Canada or New York at the time. I can't remember. And he cheated on me with a girl from fucking Alabama.
Okay.
For text. They were, yeah. Like,
what?
Yeah, I don't know, because he could have just texted. Like, I don't know.
Was it worth it? You know, like, I'm so confused.
I stayed with him for like another 2.5 years.
Okay. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. That's okay. Nobody's joking. But you guys didn't work out for a reason.
God, no.
Yeah.
We would never, the other person couldn't walk away during an argument. And so the arguments would like explode. Like, we were never physical with each other, but it was just like screaming, yelling, crying, like horrible.
Yeah.
So like for me, like a really big ick for me, and like a really big like absolutely no, like I don't care how mad we are at each other, do not yell at me.
Yeah, raising your voice, absolutely.
Like, do not yell at me. Like, we're adults. Like, if it's getting to the point where you're feeling like you're getting that angry, walk away.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Lonnie had to deal with a lot of me crying, hyperventilating, being like, this is world ending. Like, he's not even talking to me. He just walked away from me.
Yeah.
And he would, at the beginning, he would leave the house and like go with friends and everything. Yeah. And then one day I told him, I was like, okay, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, you can leave. I can stay in the room. Like, that's how he ended up with his office, was to give him that space to like, not shut me out, but like
have his own
bubble.
Yeah.
You know, even if we're not arguing, sometimes you just kind of want
your
space.
Yeah.
So we each had our own offices. Mine is now in our room for different reasons. Okay. But it's just one of those things where it's like, walk away. Yeah. Be healthy.
Yeah.
Do not yell at somebody.
Yeah. And like also understanding that compromise of just because you're ready to talk about it, that does not mean the other person is ready to talk about it.
That part.
And it will really help the both of you guys if you guys both are ready. So it's not going to kill you to wait another day or two to like let emotions settle and for them to like get their thoughts together. It's going to kill them though if they have to talk about it right now and they're not ready to talk about it right now.
And I mean, I believe in like, you know, emotional words, like emotional, like drunk words, and like emotional words usually are how the person is like truly feeling, but it's probably not the best delivery.
Yeah.
It's probably the worst delivery in the harshest way possible to deliver something.
Yeah.
So like it could, instead of being like, I can't fucking stand you right now, like it's like, right now I'm in a very like emotional state, and you're not helping it, and I need to walk away, versus being like, I can't fucking stand you, like get the fuck away from me, type shit.
Yeah, no, I definitely know how that is. me and Chauncey, we had a lot of issues where we both didn't know when to let things go and like let the person come back to the conversation. So it turned into screaming matches and me having to tell him to calm the fuck down because you're not going to talk to me like this. And, you know, vice versa. Like me raising my voice, it didn't come across to me like I was raising my voice, but to him it was. So then he would raise his voice, but he actually would raise his fucking voice. So it was a lot of needing to learn to just chill out sometimes. And yeah, and I think like even when, you know, obviously when we get into the topic of jail and stuff, but it was a very transitional moment for me to really work on myself and work on things that I've had issues with. And I mentioned it before too, like it's the quietest I've ever been in my life. Like I usually will talk. I will like be open with people about stuff. I'm always like oversharing and everything, but like jail was the first time where I literally was like, sit down, shut the fuck up, and just listen to what other people have to say. And that's really what I did the entire time. And it, you know, taught me to like be very calm with my emotions and not feel the need to say everything I'm feeling all the time, because it can hurt other people and it can hurt myself.
Except for the Uno cards.
Except for the Uno cards. I had to pop off on the Uno cards. I popped off on the fucking Uno cards because that bitch had me hot, bro. That bitch had me so hot. Oh my God. It's the principle.
So I guess that's a good transition into the whole, you know, you got arrested last year.
Yeah.
It was a whole court case fiasco. So,
yeah.
I mean, where do you want to start with all of that?
I don't know. I mean, it was my first speeding ticket ever. I've been pulled over for speeding several times. Pause for the pizza.
Oh my God. Before I freaking forget, your candle.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Holy crap. It doesn't even smell. I forgot all about this. You could have kept it literally forever and I would not have given a fuck.
Yeah, but I would know.
Okay.
That's how it would.
Did you want to eat your pizza?
Oh no, that's for the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. Girl, what time does the game start?
6:30.
Oh shoot. Okay, so yeah, let me skedaddle my cheeks up out of here. I bet a lot of money on the game. I'll find out who wins when I wake up from my nap. I don't know. I've either made 30 grand or I lost $100. Either one. But no, Anita and I guess Brandon, he like watches football and stuff. So I was like, whatever you bet, just send them my way. And I was like, here's $5 for this one. Here's $10 for this one. I just went through. I might be rich tomorrow, just a little bit. It might pay for my boob job. We'll see.
You getting another one?
Yeah, I want to get another lift and implants. I want to get bigger implants, and I have to redo my lift because I lost so much weight that the lift basically did not happen anymore at this point. So they're quite saggy. I mean, they're not that bad. They're definitely not as bad as before I got them done the first time. But yeah, it's pretty much they need to get redone. Also, the scarring that I got from my first surgery, this doctor said he could fix them because he said there are like excessive scars that I should not have.
Okay.
He didn't like openly talk shit about my previous surgeon, but he definitely made comments about like, you know, there's surgeons who do their job and there's surgeons who do their job really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, I do it really well. So, so yeah, he can cover up some of them. And then like, I guess they also offered laser treatments, which I never heard of before, but he said laser treatments, especially for melanin women, that they basically get rid of your scars because you know, obviously we're prone to scars and stuff like that. He was like, no, he's like about 2 laser treatments, your scars are going to be like 80% gone. And that's like something that I've been very self-conscious about in like why I don't love the way that they look. Cause like you know, there's a fat ass fucking scar going from my nipple all the way down. And that's just it's not cute. There's scarring that goes from here all the way down here as well, which he said was excessive. There was no reason for the cut to be that big.
Wait, so they did the cut fully like.
Yeah, it's like literally like a loop down here and then a T.
It's supposed to be like
a small incision.
Yeah. And then okay.
It's a whole like literally you might even be able to see it. Yeah, it starts right there.
That is so...
And it goes all the way up here.
That is so excessive.
And it's ugly. Please. I'm so... Anyways, $18,000 for my new boob job. Cash App is in my bio. I'm going to get it one day, but I'm trying to get it done in before your wedding. But I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not going to lie. So... Where's that? I'd have to get it done in early March. Okay. Anyways, back to jail.
Yes. So first speeding ticket.
First speeding ticket ever. I've always been able to talk myself out of speeding tickets. Yeah, I guess I don't know. Is that rude to say? No, I don't think that's rude to say. But yeah, I've always been able to
No.
talk myself out of
Yeah.
situations. I'm very polite. I'm very like I understand why a cop pulls me over. I don't ever sit there and like get mad at a cop for doing his job. Like you were literally doing your job. You just did it a little too well for my liking.
Exactly.
So
You inconvenienced me, but I was breaking the law
yeah, yeah.
technically.
So
So
I'm
like,
gonna chill out. I'll be cool. You know what I'm saying? And then
yeah.
I always just kind of get let out with a warning, or they'll give me a ticket for something else. Like instead of them giving me a speeding ticket, they'll be like, okay, well, excuse me, your window tints are too dark. Here's a repair order. You know, and I'm fine with that. Like it is what it is.
Mm. Is that
This
how you got it
time,
for the star ones?
yeah, the star
Ugh.
ones. Well, the star ones, I literally had to explain to him that I set up my appointment to get it taken off anyways, because the front one I couldn't see.
Yeah.
And he believed me, which was the truth. Like I wasn't lying
Yeah.
about it. I did have an appointment set to get it taken off. So he just gave me a warning on that one, which is cool. But
Yeah.
then he told me that I got another warning because I didn't have like my front license plate on. I was like, I never had my front license plate on. It's so ugly. Okay, I'll keep getting warnings. And so they ticket me. I'm gonna keep doing that shit too. It's so ugly. I don't want to put my license plate on the front of the car.
No, it is ugly.
Yeah. So yeah, so boom, I got pulled over. They arrested me on the spot. I said it's a guy, just one guy. He arrested me on the spot. I had to get my car towed, which was $375 to get it out. On top of that, the tow yard was an hour back towards Tennessee from where I went to jail. So when Mike and Faith bailed me out, I had to drive. Well, they had to drive me an hour
We're back.
backwards.
Oh
Pay
my God.
375, and we went to the wrong location. That was bad too. And it was like 10 o'clock at night. We're so tired. So then, yeah, I had to pick up the car, $375, and then we had like a 7-hour drive home.
That's crazy.
And it was terrible. So when they first locked me up, even like, so I don't know if the cop had said it just because he was trying to be a chill cop, but he did mention that like he wouldn't have taken me in had he didn't already call it in, because like I was basically crying. I was crying really bad on the way home. I just like was very mentally out of it the entire trip to Gatlinburg. So for the audience, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, for like first week of October, it's like this huge car show for Slammed Enough, which is like a cat.
That is Fred.
Oh my gosh, Fred! Oh, come here, Fred. Please come here. I don't have cats. I don't. What do I do?
You can pet him.
Is he gonna?
No.
Oh, Fred. Oh my gosh.
So I would not go that far back.
Okay.
He is a little bit of an asshole.
Oh, I just don't want to get bit or scratched. I'm prone to cats scratching me all the time.
He is a little bit of an asshole. He will randomly decide that he is done being pet.
He'll just like snip at you?
No.
Oh.
He'll swat at you.
Ah.
See? Yep. Nope, he's done. He just wants to sniff you
I
now.
don't like that little paw thing you just did there. Go eat some pizza or something. Anyways.
He will. He's stolen a hot dog from my brother before.
Oh, he is so cute. What kind of cat is he?
He's a Mancoon Blue Russian mix.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna
So
call
he's
you.
on the smaller side.
Is this air tag on him?
Yes. Oh fuck yeah.
You gotta
All of my pets have air tags.
put one of those little GoPros on him and you watch him when he runs around the neighborhood and shit. Does he leave the house?
No.
Oh, he's a house cat.
They're
Full
both
blown.
of my cats. So the other cat is upstairs
Okay.
sleeping somewhere. I don't know. He doesn't really like people.
Okay.
They're both house cats. I'm pretty sure I could let that one out and he would come back. No issue, but the one upstairs no.
No, okay.
It's just they both like to hide sometimes when other people are here.
Okay.
And then people can't find them. And so
Okay.
then they get really worried and then they text me or call
Yeah.
me. And then I'm nowhere near home panicking because I'm like, where are my
Where's the
cats
cat?
at?
Yeah, and they're literally just in the cabinet.
Yeah.
Just literally trying to be away.
One time he was literally like in the closet.
Oh.
Just nobody could see him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Such a cutie pie.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so Gatlinburg is an auto show hosted by Slammed Enough, where everybody, just kind of comes down there for a week with really cool slammed out cars, and it's a really nice, entertaining time. So this 2024 was my second year going. First year, I forgot about what happened.
We gonna leave that one in the
bag.
bag.
In the bin. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that first year. Second year though, I literally was drunk the entire trip. The entire trip, I like as soon as I woke up in the morning, I would take a couple of shots of Grey Goose. I was hitting my weed pen the whole time. I was eating edibles the whole time. Like I could not even tell you what we did the entire week. I only remember because I filmed a lot of it. So like I had to go through my footage to be like, oh my God, we did get Waffle House like 6 fucking times. I thought we did, but couldn't confirm.
Yep.
Just like small things like that. So and the reasoning why was because I was really depressed. I was a lot more depressed than I think like I wanted to admit and accept. It was really mainly about my dogs who had just passed. So like of the other stuff absolutely added to it, but it was really like mainly my dogs. So on the way home from Gatlinburg, I was like crying the whole trip, like driving through whatever. Here's the tea, here's the truth. You get to hear it first. I tell everybody that I was trying to get around an 18-wheeler. And I had to speed up to get around because it was only a 2-lane highway. I had to speed up to get. That's not the truth. To be fair, I was so fucked up because I was high as shit when they pulled me over. I'm not gonna lie. I've been hitting my weed pen. I'd eaten an edible. Like I was fucked up when he saw me, but because I was crying so much, I don't think he peeped that like my eyes were bloodshot because I was also fried.
He probably just thought because you were crying so much with your eyes.
Yeah, and also like I had like puffy eyes too. Like it really did,
look like you had been crying for a
while. Yeah. So but no, basically. It was the reason why I kept telling that story is because I thought that was the truth. It wasn't. I went back through my dash cam footage and I was like, oh, okay. I just was showing off, bro. I was just being an idiot and I was showing off. There was a group of like really slammed out cars that were also heading back. I recognized a few of them. Some of them had like huge, like, following or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I love these cars. And I'm like, boom, little G80, boop, boop, boop. So I wasn't like showing off crazily. Like it literally just was, I passed them. I was going a regular speed. The whole time I was honestly driving like 75, 80. Like I was chilling. But there was a situation where there was a car here and a car here. And I either was going to get stuck behind this car who was moving a lot slower than me, or I could speed up and cut through the both of them and get around. So I wouldn't necessarily say I was showing off. It was one of those things where like I kind of already like sped past these people, but they were going maybe like 55, 60 because they all had slammed out cars, so they can't drive fast.
Yeah.
So it's not like I was speeding through and just passing them. But like once I passed them, I was like, I'm gonna look like a fucking idiot if I get stuck behind this car at this point. So I sped up, got around. Literally the moment that I got in front of the car, it was a turn. The cop was right there. So that was why I was going that speed. That was why. Had nothing to do with 18-wheelers. There were 18-wheelers, but they were like back there. That situation did happen. It just was back there. So that's the truth as to why I actually was going that speed. And then as soon as I saw the cop, I had a lot of people in my comments like tell me I should have ran. Why didn't I run? Why didn't I go to West Virginia? Yeah. And I'm like, for me, it's like, have you ever been in this situation? Because if not, shut the fuck up. Like for me, I'm just like, do you really think that I was well, first of all, I would never run. Like just point blank period. I don't care how much trouble I'm in. I'm not going to run because 9 times out of 10, they're going to catch me and I'm going to get in even more trouble for running. That's the first thing. Secondly, how quick do you think someone can think on their feet in an area that they don't know? So you want me to go to West Virginia, which actually was closer than I thought, but I'm not looking at fucking Google Maps. Like I'm literally like, if the cop is right here and he's on my ass, I'm not going to sit here and try to ponder about how fast can I get to West Virginia? Can I type it in my Google? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then on top of that, I had just entered the state of Virginia. I thought I was still in Tennessee when I got pulled over. I will say that. Because had I known I was in Virginia, probably wouldn't have been doing some of the shit I was doing. Because I know Virginia don't play.
No, they really do not.
They don't play. So by the time that I had crossed the border, it's like I still had like 5 more hours of Virginia left. Y'all think I'm gonna just keep driving up north just for them to hit up the next cop like 2 miles over and tell them that I'm on the way? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just so much that went into it that when people ask me why I didn't run, I'm like sitting there like, are you fucking dumb? I'm literally in a purple car with chrome window tint. Come on, bro. Like I'm literally an easy target. They could put up the helicopter in 30 seconds and that motherfucker gonna find me. Like it just don't make any sense. So
is your name still on the car or no?
Yeah. My name was on the car. And I literally have a custom orange license plate. Like it's just, I was an easy target. So I pulled over immediately. And everything was chill. I thought everything was cool. I've never been arrested before, so I'm just chilling. I'm texting the group chat telling them I got pulled over and blah, blah, blah. And then the cops started asking me questions about like, what's the value of what's in my vehicle right now? And I was like, I don't think I've ever been asked these types of questions. Because everybody in the group chat was like, nah, like you're going to jail right now. And I was like, I'm not fucking going to jail. I literally typed in, I was like, I don't think so. I was like, the cop is so chill. I have screenshots too. I can send them to you just so you can see how fucking dumb I sounded in this group chat. I was like, no, literally, guys, he's being so chill. And then he asked me those questions, and I think I came back and I was like, nah, chat. I said, I think I'm fucked. And they never heard from me again. I did not. I had to turn off my phone and everything because the man arrested me, put me in handcuffs, and the whole time I kind of just was like chill. Like I mean, obviously I was fried, so I kind of was also like extra chill. But I remember crying in the cop car when he took me, like when he was driving me to the jail. But I was crying because I was thinking about how disappointed my dogs would be in me for like doing some dumb shit like this. But I also was kind of happy that they weren't there because that would be really sad for me to not be able to come home on time, you know, and missing them and stuff like that. And I'd be in jail for a whole day basically.
Yeah.
So I was there for a couple of hours. I want to say like I don't know how long I was in there for. I got arrested, I want to say at like 10 something in the morning. And then Mike and Faith bailed me out at like 8 p.m. at night, something like that. But my bail had been paid by 2 p.m. that day. They just did not let me out for some reason, you know, just in jail. So they don't give a fuck.
Somebody didn't want to do paperwork.
Yeah, that's literally it. Just the morning crew, which I noticed obviously once I was in jail, that is a thing where the morning crew doesn't do shit. It's literally they just work the day and then they leave all the paperwork and all the, you know, processing and stuff for the people at nighttime.
Yeah.
Which is shitty, but it is what it is. So that was my arrest story. Had to go to jail, then I had to go to court. I hired a lawyer, which sucked. He fucking sucked.
Yep.
He really sucked. I ended up taking the plea deal because I don't know. I guess like it was a small town that I actually got arrested in. So they were saying that the judge had like a niece or a nephew. Somebody in his family had passed away from somebody speeding. So they already said I'm like pretty much fucked in that department.
How was he allowed to take the case? Because that just seems a little bit too close.
Yeah. Well, they only have their courthouse has one room. Yeah, they're like a hick fucking town.
Even our courthouse has like.
That's what I'm saying.
Like what? Like 5
At
rooms?
least 5. Yeah. No, that one had one room. It almost looked like a church. You just walk in and it's there.
Yeah. What?
It literally looks like a church. I swear to God. Like little pews and everything.
Oh my.
So yeah. So and they only have one alternative judge. So and the guy, they kept saying that they really hope that I get the alternate judge instead, but I didn't end up getting him. So they were like, no, take the plea deal because if not, he's going to give you 6 months. And then they said, because I could go to not circuit court, civil court.
Yes.
I could have taken it to civil court if I didn't agree with what they were saying. And they said, don't do that because they're going to give you the max, which was 12 months. So I was like, I will take
a year.
Yeah, a year. Because that's what I was facing was up to a year. The max fine was $2,500 and then max license suspension of 1 year. They gave me license suspension of 6 months, restricted though. So as long as I'm like going around for appointments, work, medical, then I can still drive. And then they gave me technically it was 2 months of jail, but because it's a what's it called, a motor ticket, or I don't know the proper name for it, I'm blanking right now, but it's like an auto ticket, like because of the type of crime it was, I only have to serve half the time. So half the time I was told in court was 30 days, but once I was in the jail, they told me it was 31 days. So I had to stay an extra day than what I thought.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that because I was going to take off work. And
we
then
had to change the date and everything, my little pickup date. And I was like crying about it for days. And then I was like, Morgan, it's literally just one more day. But I think it was just the disappointment of like, why? Like, I don't like being told things and then like having to deal with something else. Yeah.
So what's your craziest like jail story that you have from when you were in there?
Easily the craziest one is this lady herself. So I guess every jail is different. The way that ours worked is every hour the doors would open and you had about 5 minutes to pick if you wanted to stay in the little common area or if you wanted to stay in your cell for the next hour when they open the door again. So this is between like 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. we had to go to bed. 10 p.m.? Yeah, I think it was 10 p.m. 10 p.m. It was 10 p.m.
Okay.
So all day, that's basically what happened. So when the doors open, they open automatically and like pop open or whatever. So this was a lady who was downstairs. I didn't know her. She was kind of new. There was a weird situation where, okay, how do I back up? I was staying in the intake pods. Intake pods is where there's a lot of people who move in and out because it's either people who, you know, just don't have the money for their bond or they didn't get a bond, but they're getting, you know, they have a court hearing on Monday kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So very just kind of quick in and out. There was a time where there was a group of people who came. They always brought them in between like 2 to 4 a.m. in the morning. And then like when we woke up the next morning, we would see who they are. Mm-hmm. But I like literally could not sleep because every single noise would wake me up. So like as soon as I heard them come in, I would be nosy and I would look out and kind of see who they were. This specific group of ladies, when they came in, I remember feeling like a very weird weight in the air. Like
Mhm.
something was weird. It was my first time where I was like, I don't want to get to know any of these people. Like I was like, I really want to stay to myself. I don't think I want to get to know any of the girls that just came in. This gave me a really weird vibe. And then literally the next day, this situation happened. So she was one of the new ladies. Long story short, the story is she has like 6 dogs at home who basically nobody was going to be able to take care of
Oh
them. She didn't have anybody's
no.
number to contact to try to help her. So she was worried that her dogs were going to die. She's never been to jail before. She had like literally just been dragged in there, middle of the night kind of thing. And I don't remember what they said her charges were. But all I know is it was something that like wasn't that serious, but because she had never been in a situation like this before, she's thinking it's like the end of her life, but she really like probably would have been fine
Yeah.
until she did that. So because she hung herself, basically the doors popped open. You couldn't really tell that she hung herself because of like her neck was like sideways, but she was laying down. But if you like looked long enough, you could tell that like her neck was like fucking cocked to the side. So yeah, so they like rushed all of us into the gym, or there's like a play area that you can like lock the doors. So we had to rush over there, stay in there, and then they had the gurney come up and much more cops and ambulance and stuff like that. We all thought she died. Like they don't tell us shit. Like they're not really allowed
Yeah.
to tell us stuff. So we thought she died. I ended up having to go to medic for some reason. I was in the medical department way too often in that bitch. I'm not gonna lie. Half the time was because I was actually sick. Half the time was because somebody didn't do the paperwork properly and they just brought me back down because they didn't realize I already took the test that I needed to take. Stupid as fuck. And when you're in medical, you are literally sitting in there for like 3 to 4 hours you're just in a cell waiting for them to pick you up. It's terrible. Yeah, nothing. Then they tell you that you can't bring anything. So like even if you had a book, you can't bring your book. If you had like a piece of candy, you couldn't bring a piece of candy. All you could bring was your ID card and your fucking tits in your body. That was it. So that was terrible, but it taught me a lot of patience because now like 3 to 4 hours goes by like this, and I can like actually just sit there in my thoughts and like not feel antsy and stuff like that. So it sucked, but it taught me a lot. Long story short, when we were in medical, I saw them giving her pills. So she didn't. She's in there. She's cool. She's good. But because she tried to commit suicide, Shorty gonna be in there a long ass time. She gonna be in there for a long time. They do not play about people trying to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how she's doing. I don't know if her dogs are okay. That's just what the story was. So I would say that's probably the craziest thing. Didn't see any fights break out. Saw a lot of almost fights, a lot of in your face, yelling, screaming, like having to put your hands behind your back because you know that like they're about to like fight each other kind of thing. But no fights actually broke out. And I want to say that that's mainly because people there were sincerely afraid of getting bigger charges. They didn't want to stay in there any longer. So if you got in a fight, then you would have to stay in there for another month, couple weeks, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, so I think a lot of people like understood the grasp of I don't want to be in here longer.
Not orange is the new black.
Not orange is the new black. No. Now the other pods, they got into fights a lot. Because they're the people that are in blues where they're going to be in there for a really long time, or they have no clue, but they're like, let's say their court date wasn't until March and this is back in December. So they're just going to keep them in there because it's like a whole couple months that you're going to stay. So I had yellow like clothing, like my uniform was yellow. And then the other pods, theirs are dark blue, like a dark navy blue.
Did you have like a job while you were in there? Like I know.
No, yeah, no.
I know some people like get like little like admin privileges and shit.
Yeah. So you can I can't remember what they call them. I'm blanking on it right now. But you basically have to fill out paperwork to become one of those people. And then I think it's like every like 5 days you work is like half a day off your sentence. Like it's something ridiculous. It's something that doesn't actually like make sense.
It doesn't add up to actually be beneficial.
Yeah.
But
if you're like bored as fuck and you got like 6 years kind of thing, like you might as well just it'll keep you busy.
A day off is a day off at that point.
Basically. Yeah. So I knew a few girls who fill out their paperwork. They became one of them. I'm really blanking on the name right now, but they're called something very specific. But there was this one girl who did it. She left. She was gone for like almost my entire time there. Like I want to say 3 days before I left, she comes back into our pod. And we're like, what happened? We thought that you were, trustee. That's what they call them, trustees. She's like, I thought you, were a trustee, whatever. She had to go to the hospital because she had cancer. She didn't have it anymore, but she had like some situation, from after effects from her cancer. Led her into the hospital. They kicked her out of her room, kicked her off the trustee pod, like kicked her out immediately. Didn't even fucking give a shit. Immediately kicked her out. And they were like, if you have any health problems, you are not allowed to be a trustee.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
So, girl, I guess
Why?
because you can't call out of work. So that was technically her like calling out of work in a way. So they fired her ass. Yeah.
You get a call out of work in the real world.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, they didn't play. They don't play about that shit. So then when her spot opened up, another girl got it. It's just a doggy dog world.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, they don't have any type of sympathy, bro. But I mean, I guess they're not allowed to. It's jail. I don't know.
I mean, but you should still have some like
That's what I'm saying. Like, at least give her like a 3-strike
humanity,
rule.
like
Yeah. Like if it's within like 6 months.
because like let's be honest, with the pod that you were in, you're not dealing with like the serial killers, the like you know
yeah.
essayers, like you're not
Yeah.
dealing with like
Yeah.
these like hardened criminals.
Yeah.
Most of the time they're just
Niggas doing meth and shit, getting caught doing meth, crack
junkies,
houses,
like
junkies, lots of DUIs. There was a lot of DUIs in there.
and in all reality, addiction, it's a disease. Like it's like there's probably very like depressed, like anxious, like there's probably a lot going on in there where it's like maybe having a little empathy would help.
Yeah, no, they're not like that, unfortunately. I will say our pod also had people that were in black and whites. Black and whites were the people that we knew were there for a long time. Like there was one girl who'd been there for 3 years. She just got her court date. Literally, her court date's in February. But she had been there for 3 years. No court date. No talks about anything. Yeah, fucked. But black and white
do like a speedy process.
Yeah, quite literally. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who her lawyer was. I don't know like her situation because she was one of those people who also didn't open up about what she did.
Yeah.
She just told people that they're lying and that she didn't do what, they're saying she did. Typically, I notice when people say that because I met a few people, like when you go to Medic, they pick up people from other pods. Yeah. So there was a few times where we had the Navy Blue people with us in Medic and I would talk to them and whatnot. So I noticed that the trend is if you don't tell people what you did, it is because you were. Yeah. So
yep, that's usually what it is, honestly. Yeah. So my uncle, he works, and now my little cousin does too, at the jail here. I will say that's yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Like you obviously like you don't want to get fucking marked in this bitch because that's one thing that people do not play about.
No, because listen, what they did a interview with some like renowned, not renowned, but like he was like a huge like serial killer. I think it was, I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, or maybe he just like had people, I don't know. But basically they'd ask like, oh, like why did you like never like go after kids or anything, why was it always like and he was like, because they're innocent, like the fuck, like so like, and the other thing is like a lot of those people in there are fathers, uncles, grandfathers,
exactly,
like
yeah, and you're gonna get fucked up.
Yeah,
you're absolutely gonna get fucked up,
as you should, honestly.
Quite literally, yeah, absolutely. There was one lady who I met who was she obviously didn't tell me what she did, but I found out from somebody else what she did, and they kept her in I can't remember what they call it. I'm like so blanking on like everything right now, but they basically kept her in a room by herself for 2 years.
Yeah, like an isolation thing. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, she got her food tray every day, but outside, like she could hear people playing around and stuff. Because we had 2 people who were in that, but they were in the very corner room, and the corner room is a door that unlocks to their doors. Like you have to like go through a separate door to get to them. So they can hear us every day. They can like hear that we're outside, like chatting, hee-hee-hawing, whatever, but they just have to stay in their room. They only get let out for 30 minutes at nighttime. And we could hear them, we could see them. And like one of the ones in our like area, she was like mentally fucked up. So she would like scream, do a lot of outbursts throughout the day. She would be screaming. At nighttime, she would be yelling. And like the guards can only tell you to be quiet, but so much because you still get your 30 minutes at the end of the day. But yeah, this other lady that I had met and was talking to, she had been in there for 2 years straight. They never let her out for 2 years. And then she said when she got out for the first time, the first thing she did was went to the gym because the gym has like a window. It's like frosted. They put frosting like or whatever, some type of tint on the window so you can't see outside. But it's still a window. Like right there is the outdoors. And she said that was the first thing that she did was she just sat in the gym literally for like the entire day because she like hadn't seen sunlight, like actual natural sunlight in like 2 years. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. But then I found out that she was, I was like, damn, bitch, I was feeling bad for you at first.
Now I don't.
Now I'm not feeling bad for you. Yeah.
Oh my God. That stuff is just crazy to me.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's insane. Like for me to experience what I did in that jail, it just makes me like question like what happens in other jails. Like I remember I kept saying to myself like, oh, if I was in Maryland right now, like if I was in, the Upper Marlboro
Yeah.
jail right now, what kind of experience would I be going through versus this one? Because I was the only black girl in there. There was no other black girls. There was one black lady when I first got there, but she got moved to a different pod after my first week. There was another black lady who came in my last week, and she's the one who was braiding my hair and stuff like that.
Yeah, you came out
But
with your little,
girl,
your
with
little
that,
caramels.
yeah. Miss Nisi had me right up in that bitch. But outside of those two, there was no black woman in there. I think there was one Asian girl who was only there for a couple of days. We had one Hispanic girl who left because she went to rehab instead. So that's also another thing too that a lot
Yep,
of them wanted
yep,
to do was go to rehab instead of jail, and you had to like file paperwork and blah blah
yeah,
blah.
yep, yep.
Yeah, and like it was really hard to get accepted, but she got accepted, so she left. Outside of that, it was just a bunch of white bitches. So I'm like, if I was in, let's say, Prince George's County and I was around a bunch of black women, would this be very different for me?
You might have had a very different
I
experience.
think I would have had a
Did
probably
people
worse
like
experience,
probably,
to be honest. Yeah.
probably? Did people like try to touch like your hair and everything while you were there?
There was one chick, but she was schizophrenic, so like I like let her do a lot of
Yeah,
shit that so I was
yeah.
like, yeah, girl, I understand you crazy. So like respectfully, like, dude, you do your big one, whatever keeps you at peace. But no, she was really cool. Yeah, she was really cool. She used to call me Sri Lanka. Oh my god, she used to call me Sri Lanka, and she used to love when she called me that shit too. Because every time she like called it to me, like she would call me that, like I would like look up at her, and she would have like this look on her face, like satisfaction of like, oh, she answered to that.
That's
Hilarious.
crazy.
Yeah, no, she was quite the character. I love her so much.
Okay.
What?
Did anyone try you while you were in there?
Not like seriously. If I had like really played into it, yeah, but not like seriously. There was two girls who they would make a lot of comments, especially when I got my hair braided for the first time. They were like, I just think it's the braids, but and it's just it was very unattractive to me because obviously like their teeth fucking were awful. Everybody in there did meth. Everybody in there did like crack cocaine and shit. So all their teeth were like either non-existent or they were like black, had like oh god.
Or they had dentures.
Yeah, it
yep.
was bad. It was really bad. So they would be in my face, and like everybody there drank coffee. I purposely didn't drink coffee because coffee was like the crack of jail. And if you had it, people were on your ass like white on rice. And I was like, I just don't want to have any situation where I tell somebody, no, I'm not sharing this. And then like something happens because of it. So I was like, I will just never have it. So people can never have a problem with it. Because I watch people get into arguments over fucking coffee. Yeah. See, but the coffee was shit too. So it kind of was like, oh, it's fine. Like I don't need that shit. I love coffee. No. Yeah. In everyday life, I drink coffee every single day.
I have at least 2 cups a day.
Yeah. But over in there, I was like, no. But like everybody's breath stank because they just go drink coffee. So when they would talk to me, they would be in my face. It was bad. But oof. Nobody actually physically fucked me. There was one couple who used to like everybody knew that they were sleeping with each other, but you couldn't get caught with it. So it was a lot. Like it was a lot. Like as much as you didn't think that the jail was watching you, like they were really watching a lot of the shit that we do. There was one time that like this girl was kind of sitting too close to another girl, and she had like playfully like put her hand on her thigh, and like all you hear from like this big bass fucking speaker was like, move, separate yourselves. And that was my first time even realizing that they're actually watching us.
Why can't you fuck in jail? Like, it's like,
girl, they don't want to have no fun up in that bitch. No fun. Like you can really only fuck if you like you're in the room with your room. Like that's your roommate kind of thing. Because like at nighttime is really the only time. Outside of that, like they pay attention to who's in each pod, like who's in each like cell and stuff like that. You can only be in your own cell. You're not allowed to be in anybody else's cell. And then if you're in public, you can't really get away with shit. The only thing, there's a lady, Miss Martin. She was one of our guards, and she was the older guard, but she also smoked cigarettes. So the girls, when Miss Martin was on a shift, and there was a point where we had to do count. Count always took 1 to 2 hours, depending on whatever, just random shit. When Miss Martin was there, as soon as she would leave to go do count, because she would be gone for at least like 45 minutes straight, the girls would go and they would smoke weed, or they would smoke cigarettes, or they would drink hooch, which they were making in their rooms. So
for those who don't know, can you explain what hooch is?
Hooch is alcohol. They told me how they made it, but like I just didn't understand it, so I don't think I was really listening. But it has to do with like bread and then like soaking it in some sort of juice, and then like you let it sit for a long time, and then it turns into alcohol somehow or another. I don't know. All I know is it can get you really fucking sick if you don't make it properly. So, anyways, besides the point. Yeah, so basically they would only try to get away with shit when it was Miss Martin's shift. Because for some reason nobody was watching us during Miss Martin's shift. Outside of that though, nobody ever really did anything. Yeah, it was real chill, I would say. For the most part.
For the most part, until the Uno cards.
Until the Uno cards. The Uno cards was the Uno cards, I could have done something about the Uno cards. I could have told the guard, I could have snitched, I could have done whatever. But I was like, I'm gonna let this girl have it. Because mind you, she came into jail for shoplifting. So I really should have known. Like I really should have been like not befriended her and like not given her the Uno cards, but I gave them to her to hold. Like she knew it was to hold the Uno card. She knew that I didn't, because at a point in time I didn't like coming out of my room. There want to say like, I don't know, probably after the first week, like I was just watching movies on the tablet every single day because my mom would put money on it. You could watch movies, whatever. They had like 8 tablets per pod. So there's like 38 of us though, 38 to 40 people in my pod, but because a lot of them didn't have money on their tablets, it didn't really matter. Like they didn't need it or whatever.
Yeah.
So I would just watch movies all day long. There was a lot of times where I didn't want to go in public and I didn't want to play Uno and whatever, but she did. And I was like, if this is something that brings you joy, then you can hold the Uno cards. But I literally had on there like, these Uno cards are Morgan Freys. In there, my nickname was TikTok. So I just put like in quotes like TikTok, whatever. And I gave this lady, she knew that she had to hold them. Every time it would be like break time, like she would bring them out. We would play them with a group of people, whatever. And we had came to an agreement that when she leaves, because we knew that she was leaving soon, I was leaving soon, that we were going to give the cards to this girl named Aubrey. And then the day comes that she's leaving. She has the Uno cards. She has them on her. And I remember asking her, I said, hey, I was on the phone and I was like, hey, where's the Uno cards at? And this was like, there's a door where she leaves, like where you can leave, but like I can't pass that door. Yeah. She could pass it because she was literally packing up to go.
Yeah, she was leaving her down. Yeah.
Yep. And she turns and looks at me and gives me this fucking stare. Like I wouldn't even say it was a glare, bro. It just was a stare of almost like, girl, please. And oh my God, my fucking blood started boiling, bro. I've never been that pissed in my life. Because it's like to blatantly disrespect me in my face. And then you also, you're pussy. Because you did that shit knowing that I can't cross that fucking line. And then I spazzed. I was on the phone with my mom and I put the phone down. I didn't put like hang it up, but I put the phone down. I yelled at everybody because this was right after lunch. So everybody was outside. I said, does anybody know where the fucking Uno cards are at? Or does she have the fucking Uno card? Bro, I was going off. And then because like I had been so quiet and so chill the whole time. And like I had hella people come up to me and like ask me like, is she good? Are you good? Did she take the card? What are we going to do? Let's call the guard. Let's I was like, no, bro. I was like, let her have it. Let her have it.
It's not even worth it at this point.
Yep, let her have it. And then I found out after the fact that she crossed out my name on the Uno cards and wrote down her name, that this is her cards. And her friend told me that she was bragging about the fact that she is going to take the cards home to her son. Well, she calls him Little Man. So she said, she was telling them that she's taking the cards home to Little Man. I said, okay. I said, okay. That's right. Because you were shoplifting to get him gifts for Christmas because you couldn't afford it. So this is a gift that you can give for Christmas. I said, I guess I'm happy that you have something to give to him. But at the same time, you're selfish as fuck because you know that these cards was for everybody else. Here. Yeah, like you and I both know that we weren't going to be here that long.
You have to steal to like get like full jail time.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know because they released her on bond. They released her out on bond. But this was like her third offense. It was like her third time shoplifting. And like her second time from that same Walmart. I was like, why would you go back? She's like, well, it was like a year later. I was like, yeah, but why would you go back, bro? Like that's a year later or not? Like what the fuck? It doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, outside of that though, everything was chill. Met a lot of cool people. I feel really bad though, because there's one girl named Tori who is in there and I really want to like be there for her and I want to be able to talk to her.
So anywhere from $200 to $2,000 to actually like have to like serve time and everything.
Okay. I wonder how much she stole. I don't know.
Somehow I just accidentally exited the studio, but it's still recording, so who cares?
Okay. But yeah, there's a girl named Tori that I really wanted to keep in touch with. I like put money on the GTL app, which is to like text and message. I put money on her phone so she can call me. Put money on her commissary, and for some reason the app just does not work for me. So she keeps messaging me, but I cannot message her back. Every time I try to message her, it says that I have insufficient funds. But then when you look at my account, I have money in there.
Yeah.
I called them for support. They didn't answer. So I sent them an email. Their email doesn't make sense about what they're telling me to do. I called the jail and I asked them if I can just like, can they just send her a message to call me,
Yeah.
like to tell her to call me, because I can't call her, but she has my phone number. She
So
can
you
call
call
me.
you, yeah.
And because long story short, like when I left, it was like mad early in the morning. And I gave a couple of my items to another girl to give to Tori because all of us used to eat dinner and lunch and breakfast every day together. Like we were
Yeah.
all cool. So I'm thinking that this girl, you know, she's chill. Tori always told me that she didn't actually fuck with the girl, but like they just, you know, she'd be faking it. She acts like it, whatever. I don't see a problem with this chick. I'm like, oh no, this chick's cool. I don't understand like what your beef is with her, but you know, I respect it.
Yeah.
Gave her the clothes. Tori's messaging me telling me that she's not trying to give her the fucking clothes. That like she keeps saying that I left it for her and I didn't. I know blatantly what I left for this girl, and I know blatantly what I told her I was leaving for Tori, but you have to do it because Tori's door was locked already. I couldn't go back and, you know, give her the stuff, give her the items. So I'm trying to like get, you know, contact her to make sure that she's good and she got her shit. But yeah, I basically called the jail, asked if they could tell her to call me, and they were like, we don't leave personal messages. Click. So I have no way of contacting her. I mean, I can write her a letter, but that's about it. But it's just like, I just don't want her to think that I abandoned her, because I know that she kept asking me like not to when I left. And now it's going on like 2-3 weeks since I've talked to her. And I know she thinks that I abandoned her, but it's just like, oh,
is there any way for you to like possibly use somebody else's account to like?
I was thinking that, but I don't know. I don't know who would be willing to do it. I mean, Happy might be able to, because I know obviously I was messaging Happy while I was in there, so that worked. But I don't know. I guess I didn't really ask her to do it. I don't want to like put that burden on her. I feel like this is something I have to like take care, you know. So I'll figure it out though. I'll find a way to talk to her. I feel like shit about it some days. I'll randomly think about how she's still in there and I'm out, and she has about like 10 more months too. So yeah. But she's the only person that I really like made real friends with outside of this lady named Debbie. Debbie's amazing. But Debbie's out. She's doing good. She only had to serve 10 days, so we got out the same. Yeah. Yeah. Did you have any other questions for me?
No, I mean, what are like your biggest takeaways?
My biggest takeaways is my patience. I have always been a very impatient person. I am the year of the ox, which growing up I thought was hilarious, because when you like look it up, the ox is supposed to be this wise, like patient animal, and you know, anybody born in 1997, blah blah blah, whatever. I've never been patient my whole life. Like I cannot stand when shit doesn't happen immediately, when it doesn't happen as quick as possible, whatever. So jail really taught me the act of patience. I would say that it also helped me get closer with God, because I had, you know, grown up with a Christian background my whole life, went to church, went to Christian school, blase. When I first moved to Maryland and I was 16 years old, I was like very violently by a guy who was older. I was 16, he was 21, 22. And yeah, he like beat the absolute living fucking shit. I had to go to the hospital, and some stuff down in my private I had to get fixed as well, because that's how much he really fucked me up.
Wow.
And I kind of did one of those generic things where it's like, God, why me? Like, why did you do this to me? This is your fault. Like, immediately was like, no, you know, why? After having all this faith in you, kind of thing. So, when I was 16, I kind of like, I didn't stop believing in God. I stopped caring about him, if that makes sense. And since then, I always had this idea of there's a higher being, but like, is it God? I don't know. You know, is it the Bible? Like, is the Bible accurate? Probably not. Like, this kind of, you know, that whole gist. But yeah, being in there got me, you know, back close with him. Every night I prayed, every morning I prayed, and whenever something happened, I prayed, and he answered a lot of my prayers in there. My dogs were my dreams a lot at first when I was in there, and I was crying all the time, like just at nighttime. Like I would literally wake up from my dream crying, like just tears on the bed and everything. And then there was one day where I just was like, God, I was like, please. I was like, I want to have a really good day today. I was like, can we not dream about my dogs tonight? Can we dream about something else?
Yeah.
Answer my prayers. Did not dream about my dogs again. And that was good. But just every little thing, like, can you make today go by a little bit faster? Or, you know, for lunch today, can we please get like cookies instead of the muffin brownie cake that they kept giving us, a piece of shit? And he would do it, like he really would. So, you know, being able to grow my faith back in him has been really nice. And like coming back home, it's been nice as well. I noticed that I don't lean on him as much as I did when I was in there, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm trying to work on that too, like making sure that I didn't just use him to kind of get out of there, you know. And then now that I'm out, I'm not appreciative and stuff.
Yeah.
Another big takeaway is being able to move on. We've talked, you know, privately
Yeah.
about like the idea of learning how to grieve properly. So not necessarily properly, because I don't think there is a proper way to grieve.
But a more healthy way.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, you know, getting out of jail and having people pass after jail it's been an interesting journey to see how I cope with it now versus how I used to cope with it. And it's a lot better. Another takeaway is focusing on myself and not really caring for the male gaze. I've always been like one of those people where I don't love attention, but I do enjoy it, if that makes sense. Where like I like subtle attention, where it's like, you know, people aren't like, the spotlight isn't on me, but it low key kind of is. If that makes sense. And so the male gaze, you know, I've always loved having the male gaze. I mean, I'm a fucking Scorpio girl. Like, I love when a man look at me, you know what I'm saying? But not like letting that be the forefront of things for me, and like, you know, truly learning to cope without having any male figures in my life. I mean, of course, I'm my dad, but like my dad being the only male that I truly look up to, or like I feel the need to talk to. I don't need to talk to somebody who finds me attractive because it's nice that, you know, he calls me like cute,
pretty,
like
whatever.
And just truly like making sure that I focus on myself and growing me, and, you know, focusing on the goals that I've always had without putting like a boyfriend or relationship or marriage as one of my bigger goals, because that's always been a goal for me. Is I really want to be a wife. I would love to be married. I don't want to like date multiple people at once. I literally want one person where I can spend the rest of my life with them. We can grow together, we can teach each other things, we can learn together, explore the world. That is my goal. That's my dream. However, that doesn't need to be the forefront of everything moving forward. Like, let me focus on me, let me focus on myself, and whoever comes along the way, hopefully it works out. But I also have come to peace with the fact that I might not ever find somebody who satisfies me enough to want to get married. And if I do, you know, grow up to not marry somebody, that's okay, because I'll find love in other areas of life that'll be fine for me. So,
I think that's honestly like really healthy and like really big takeaways from like something that was almost like kind of like the worst time of like your year.
Oh, absolutely.
One of them at least.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
and I think like being able to cope with my depression, because I was like mad fucking depressed when I was 17, 18, 19. I was like the worst at the time that I had ever known myself to be. And I had actually crashed a car like on purpose. Like I totaled my brother's truck meticulously because I knew I could have killed myself, but I purposely crashed it into a light pole where the passenger side got hit and not the driver's side, because I wanted to get injured in some sort of way to take away the pain that I was feeling emotionally. And then I fucking walked away with nothing, which was just a $10,000 bill, because I literally, the light pole fell down and it took out the power of the entire neighborhood over there. So my parents owed the city $10,000 for that. I remember them telling me about that bill that I would one day have to owe back. And so
have you paid that bill back now?
Never. To keep it on my tab, they'll be fine. But no, that was actually the way that my parents found out my nipples were pierced, because that was the only thing, was the airbags deployed. Thank you. And they fucking like exploded my nipple piercing, so they were like bleeding like crazy, and I had to go to the hospital for that. But outside of that, I walked away, no scratches, nothing. I was fine. So anyways, besides the point, that was my deepest time ever. And like, I was on pills, I went to see a therapist, and like nothing was working. Like the pills were cool, but like if I ever missed a day, like I was fucked up. Like I would be like sleeping the whole day. I was groggy. I felt like shit. I hated the world. But then if I took the pills again, it would take a couple of days to get back. But like when I was back, it was like cool. Everything was chill. Like it wasn't like great, but it was, you know, it was cool.
Yeah, I'm cool.
I just didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that I had to keep taking it every day. And like, if I missed, then I fucked up. So one day I was like, I'm just going to figure out this depression thing. It's like, we're going to get through this. I don't know how we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. And I like to tell myself that like I cured my own depression. Like I didn't sit there and like wallow in my like fucking sorrows and shit. Like I actually just got up, did things throughout the day. If I felt like I didn't want to, I still did it, you know, and really, you know, kind of grew out of depression. And I would tell people that I have depressive episodes every couple of months where, yes, some weeks I'm not the best. But outside of that, I'm not depressed anymore. So then when obviously this last year happened, that was definitely the worst time.
I
That was
think we
worse
can
than
all just
anything.
collectively say that last year was fucking horrible.
2024 was terrible for everybody. I don't know anybody that enjoyed
I've not met a
2024.
single person that actually enjoyed.
Yeah, that's
You know what? There might be one dude. He's a like anime influencer. His
Mhm.
name is Blake.
Okay.
We met him not last year, but the year before when we went down to Florida for holiday Missouri.
Yeah.
He got married last year, so he might
Aw,
say
okay,
like,
we'll give him that.
I'll give him that. Like
Yeah.
he might be like, oh no, I had like an amazing year,
Yeah.
but like
Majority,
majority,
that 2024 is gonna be like in 2032 we're gonna sit there and be like, hey, y'all remember 2024? That
this shit was
crazy.
wild.
Yeah. So yeah, so to be in jail, and I wouldn't say like it cured my depression, but it helped me really cope with the depression that I didn't realize was there. I kept telling myself that I was not depressed, or like, I just was having a bad day. But after everything that I went through, it was like, nah, girl, you fucked up a little bit. We not doing too that. So yeah, I would say I feel great. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know a lot of people ask me like, are you doing okay? And especially after I made that public post on Instagram where I explained a lot of what happened. I've had a lot of people, even at like today's influencer event, it was, oh my God, are you okay? It's like everybody's like walking on eggshells, like, are you good? Like, you went through so much. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. I'm great.
Yeah, but then you
feel
have
amazing.
like me, Happy, Ariel, Lotta, who are like, you got out. We're like, hey, party time! We're like, we got time for this section.
No, we're not
Let's
doing
go.
it. We're not doing it. We're back outside. The girls are back outside. And yeah, and I feel amazing. Grateful. Always grateful to be here. Still, like I said, I pray every day, and I just want to make sure that I don't know, I actually do something with myself after what happened to me, and I don't just allow it to be an event in my life. I want it to be an event that shaped my life, my future life. So
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for joining me and doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Always. All right. That's all I have for this episode. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, I hope my ass wasn't out this whole time. I don't think so.